Hi, I'm Madison, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my Mafia Romance Readathon, TBR. So I'm super excited that Mafia Romance Readathon starts on May 5th. I'm not sure when I'm posting this, so hopefully it's before then. But this is going to be my TBR for the readathon. It is a 4-day readathon from May 5th to May 8th. It is hosted by Jenn over at the Book Refuge, and I am one of the co-hosts for it. You can find out all the information for this in my Mafia Romance Readathon video, where I give you recommendations as well as explain the readathon to you. So that'll be linked up above. In this video, I'm going to be doing all my prompts for it. So there are 18 prompts, but you only have to put 9 of them onto your bingo board. I'm just going to give you a book for each of these different prompts, and then I will decide when it actually comes time to the readathon what I am going to be reading, because I like to mood read. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the very first prompt is blood on the cover, and for that I have Bloody Union by Brooke Summers. Now quite clearly this has got blood not only on the cover but also in the name Bloody Union. This is an arranged marriage. You have McKenna Gallagher and then Dante Bianchi. So what ends up happening is that they have an arranged marriage, but on their wedding day there is like some sort of like a shootout, and she ends up killing a man, and there ends up being like a whole mafia war that ensues from their marriage and this event that happens, and they are both keeping secrets, and that's kind of what this is about. I'm super intrigued. It sounds super interesting. I have no idea kind of where this is going to go. I think she's Irish if I'm correct. After that we have Book with Royalty in the title. I have 2 choices here. The first one is Mafia King by Elle Steele. This is a dark mafia billionaire romance. I read the prequel novella for this last year called Mafia Heir, and from what I'm aware, you have our main guy. He is the heir to the Italian mafia in Sicily itself, and he has like an arranged marriage with this woman, but I'm pretty sure he kidnaps her to bring her to the arranged marriage, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's how it ended. And he's like super obsessed with this woman too. I didn't really love the prequel novella, so I'm not really sure exactly how I'm gonna think of this, but I do want to give it a shot, especially because like I already own it, and I want to be putting ones on my TBR that I own physically. Like I have a lot of physical mafia romances that I've been sent, and I want to get to them. So that is the reason why I want to pick this, but yeah, it has King in the title. But then another one that I don't have on me, it is called Broken Prince by R.G. Angel. And this one really interests me because it does fulfill some other prompts in this, but our main girl, she is the daughter of like an infamous serial killer, so no one wants to hire her, and then she sees that there's this position for like a live-in housekeeper at this like derelict manor, and so she ends up taking the job there, and it turns out that the guy there is like a mafia prince turned recluse. He's a scarred hero. Something terrible happened, and now he lives completely isolated from everything, and he's part of the Cosa Nostra, which is the Sicilian mafia, and so that is a huge part of this as well. And I'm very intrigued by this. It does have, you know, Broken Prince in the title, so it does fill the royalty trope. I'm really intrigued by this one because I've never really read anything like it, and it sounds kind of cool and a bit different from like your typical mafia romances, which is why I think it could be like a nice thing to kind of break up from, like, you know, when you read a lot of mafia romances back to back, you want them to be quite different so that you don't feel like you're reading the same thing. Like you don't just read arranged marriage with arranged marriage with arranged marriage with arranged marriage, you know? The third prompt is to read the next in the series. I've got many options for this one, but the main one I'm actually going to be doing for this is Carnal Urges by J.T. Gassenger. I can 100% tell you, out of all the books I'm mentioning today that are on my TBR, this is the one that I am 1000% picking up. It'll be my first book for the readathon. So this is book 2 in the Gods and Monsters series by Queens and Monsters series by J.T. Gassenger. This is after Ruthless Creatures. This is a captive romance as well. What ends up happening is this guy is part of the Irish mob. Some things happen in the first book where Sloane, our female heroine, gets herself into a pickle of a situation. She ends up getting accidentally kidnapped because she got herself into this situation where people think that she knows something and she doesn't. So I'm so excited for this one. It's going to be such a hoot and a half because Sloane is one of the funniest characters I have read about in my entire life. She was the best friend of the heroine in book 1, and I freaking loved her to death. So now she has her own captive romance with the Irish mob, and I'm just so here for it. So super stoked for this one. Number 4 is a new to you author. If I read Bloody Union, Brooke Summers is a new to me author, so putting that out there. There are a couple authors I'll be mentioning that'll also be new to me authors, so I'll be mentioning those as they come up. The R.G. Angel is also a new to me author. Number 5 is the oldest mafia romance in your library. I don't know what the oldest one is that I actually own here physically, to be quite honest with you. I think I know which one it is, but I don't really want to get to that. This is like the one prompt that I don't think I'm going to be doing because I have ones I downloaded ages ago on my Kindle I'm just no longer interested in, and so I just don't think I'm going to do this one, so don't hate me. Prompt number 6 is a tattooed hero. This is also going to be carnal urges again. The guy in this is a tattooed hero. Number 7 is title in the name. So I can either go with my next Underworld book by Sophie Lark. I've read the first 4, so I can go on to book 5. I don't know who book 5 is. I think it's Anton's book, so I could read the next book in that series, or I could read something totally different. One of the ones I do have, I'm actually really excited to talk to you guys about this one. Let me grab it. So this is Wolf by Penelope Black, and this is actually a reverse harem Mafia romance, which I'm so excited about. And this one is like hella taboo though. So it'll be interesting to see, like, I feel like I want to read this, but I have no idea if I'm going to hate it. So what's happening is this girl, her mum ends up getting engaged to this Irish mobster, and so she ends up deciding to skip all of her summer plans. She was going to go on like vacation, do all these fun things, take her summer courses for college and stuff. But her mum says, hey, I'm getting, you know, engaged to this guy. Want to come spend the summer with me and his sons? She goes, yeah, I'll come. I want to figure out what's really going on because I don't trust this guy. Gets there and then falls in love with his 3 sons, who are technically like going to be her stepbrothers if her mum does get married. So it's a little bit taboo, but I'm really intrigued and I kind of want to, I don't know, I'm like kind of terrified. I don't know, this could really go either way, because like I guess like I haven't read it, so like are the 3 brothers like blood brothers? Because that would be kind of weird. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'll play this one by ear. After title and a name, we have Captor Captive, and obviously for this, I'm going to be doing Carnal Urges by J.T. Gessenger. Number 9 is Arranged Marriage, and obviously the 2 of those I have for that is Mafia King and also Bloody Union, so these are both arranged marriages. Number 10, the prompt is recommended by a host. Carnal Urges fits that because it's recommended by Jenn over at the book Refuge. Number 11 is to follow the hosts. I already follow us all, so doesn't really count. Number 12, the prompt is Bratva. So for this, I can read Anton, which is the next book in Sophie Lark's Underworld series, or I can read Merciless Saints by Michelle Hurd. So in this, we have Winter and Damien. Winter, something happened when she was a kid, a huge tragedy. She was then sent to go live off in isolation and trained. And then when this takes place, it takes place at a place called, I think, Saint Monarch's Academy is what all these books takes place, which is like an academy where like only the best of the best go to train to like learn to fight and stuff. And at Saint Monarch's Academy, when you graduate, you get paired with like one of the top assassins in the world to like continue your training. So it's kind of like an elite hit academy, but also like mafia-esque. And so I think Damien's like in his last year and Winter's in like her first year there, and they're enemies to lovers. And I don't know, it sounds kind of cool. It sounds super unique. I like the idea of like them training to be like assassins. I think that's like a different take on everything. So could be really cool. Number 13 is Irish, and for this it'll be Carnal Urges by J.T. Gessenger because the guy in this is the Irish mob. But also I do want to remind you guys that Bloody Union is also Irish. This one does count there as well, and so does Wolf by Penelope Black. That one's also Irish. For prompt number 14, it's Italian. Obviously the guy in this is Italian, so this fits there. I do have another one that I do want to point out, and that is Headhunter by Kristen Proby. I just recently received this and it sounds really interesting, although I'm kind of confused at the same time. This one is also an Italian mafia romance. You have Shane Martinelli, and he's one of the Martinelli brothers, part of the like Seattle mafia group for like the Italian mafia there. And then you have Ivy Jordan, and she is just living her life, but she ends up actually like having someone trying to assassinate her. And so Shane ends up stepping in as like her protector to like save her from like the assassinations. And I guess it's the 2 of them on the run for their lives and like falling in love with one another. So that's kind of like all I don't really totally know what this one's about other than that, but it sounds really interesting. And I like the idea of like him tracking her down to like protect her, and then her like being hunted by someone, and then the 2 of them like having to like go on the run together. I just think that sounds kind of cool. Number 15 is the Cosa Nostra. I actually haven't read any of this before, so this is gonna be my first time reading one of these. Obviously, like I said earlier, Broken Prince by R.G. Angel is a Cosa Nostra like mafia romance, but another one that I do have is Ruining Dahlia. This is by C.R. Jane, and this is a reverse harem mafia romance. If I don't end up reading Wolf, I definitely want to read this one. I want to read one reverse harem mafia romance because I haven't read one before, and like I'm super trying to get into more reverse harems and read more of them. So I think I'll do this one as well. Plus this one has a really pretty cover. Yes, this one says, I was sold to my enemies, and not just my enemies, but to monsters. But I know how to survive monsters because I come from a family of them. The guys are named Lucien, Raphael, and Gabriel. I don't know, I feel like a reverse harem mafia would be super cool. Number 16 is the Cartel. So this is the Mexican cartel. For this, I'm thinking of reading, well, also part of this Mafia War series. So Ruining Dahlia is book 3 in the Mafia War series. They can all be read out of order. But another one there is Blinding Rose. So this one is Cartel based. So she gets sold to her enemies who are the Cartel, and then it's reverse harem. And then there's also Blurred Red Lines by Cora Canborn. This is one that I've had on my TBR for ages. So this, it's not like the oldest in my library, but it is currently actually the oldest Kindle Unlimited book I do have out. I just refuse to return it because I want to get to it. I just haven't found the time yet. But this is a captive Mexican cartel mafia romance. It's part of a huge series. Definitely want to read it. It's part of the Carrera cartel, I think. And I think it could be really cool. But like I said, it's captive, mafia romance, cartel. Sounds dope. Looks cool. Yeah. The next prompt is Brother's Best Friend, which is actually not a popular trope in mafia romances, but Jen picked it. And for this, I'm doing Broken by Sin by BB Hamel. This just came out. I really love BB Hamel. She does some really great mafia romances. This one, I believe, is a full length. I've only read like her shorter mafia romances before, so it's be a bit different. And so what ends up happening is she actually hates her brother's best friend. His name is Nico. She hates him. But the problem is that her dad wants to marry her off to this other person, like across the country, like put her into this different arranged marriage, and she doesn't want that. So she ends up coming to an agreement with Nico to marry him instead, so she doesn't have to deal on this other arranged marriage. So it's also like kind of like technically like a marriage of convenience situation too, which is super fun. And it's like enemies, lovers, marriage of convenience, older brother's best friend. Like, I don't know, it sounds like it could be really cool. And I do love BB's like writing style. So I think that this one could be like a super huge win for me. So I definitely want to get to this. And then the last prompt is Outsider to the Mafia, which, you know, Carnal Urges fits this because the girl's an outsider. Headhunter, the girl's an outsider. A couple of these, the girls are outsiders. So I fit them all in. And yeah, that is my Mafia Romance Readathon TBR. To find out exactly what I will be reading, you guys have to watch my Mafia Romance Readathon vlog, which I will be vlogging my entire experience. I'm so excited for this. I actually haven't read any Mafia romances during the month of April, specifically because I want to save them all for May. So I'm definitely like itching to read more Mafia romances for the time this comes around. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Please let me know if you are also participating in the Mafia Romance Readathon. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that button down below. If you want to see more of me, please go to my channel. And until next time, thanks a bunch everyone. Bye bye.